Hi, I love you again, Gil. So, and here's a video for you that talks about how do I keep myself cute. No, I'm only playing around there. But anyway, how do I keep myself in the shape I'm in? Like I do know, I know, like I have some of you asking me how come I look like in good shape for how old I am. Well, apparently one of those reasons, though, really, is because the body I was born with. I guess some people. I guess some people's bodies are just naturally like cooperative, or they're just naturally built that way for some. But then, of course, that's not everything, though. But realistically, well, how have I been keeping my shape despite of eating junk and stuff? And I eat junk and everything. I can't help to eat junk, but you have to understand that, like some of this supposedly called junk, like such as a hamburger from McDonald's, some of this supposedly called junk does have some amount of nutrients in it, like such as the bread. Now you got the bread from the hamburger buns, and then you got the meat, a little bit of meat in the cheeseburger, and then you got the cheese, which is supposedly good for you. And then you got your ketchup and all, and then maybe the French fries may not be the best for you, but like the French fries has potatoes in it, right? Although you get all this processed junk or whatever, all the junk food, cookies. Well, the cookies is all sugar, gives you energy. I mean, although you could put a lot of it in yourself. I do. I eat a lot of junk. Yes, I do. I'm not gonna lie, but but the thing is, you have to understand that it's not always. I don't always eat junk 24/7. There are times when I'm gonna eat something good. Like sometimes I'll eat some chicken somewhere, like the chicken strips. They have chicken. Like if you take out the skin, then it's pure chicken. Sometimes I'll have things like that. Or sometimes I'll have cereal with milk, and the milk is good for you. I'll do that a lot. I do a lot of milk and cereal. Then mac and cheese. I eat mac and cheese. That has pasta, and that pasta is good for your muscles, supposedly. I may not be eating the best foods, but how do I survive? How do I do it even though I don't eat what the muscle builders or whatever you call them? Like, well, how do I keep my shape even if I don't eat what the muscle builders eat, or whatever's supposed to be shakes or I'll do shakes, like these protein shakes and stuff. I don't drink them, but anyways, so how do I keep my shape despite besides my diet? Well, one of the number one things is don't eat too much. That's me though. This is how I do it. It's not that I'm even meant to actually do it. Not that I'm actually meant to lose weight or anything, but this is how it happens to me. Like, I don't eat that much. I may eat junk, but I don't eat that much. I mean, sometimes I'll probably eat, like, let's say my typical routine is like I'll eat how I call it, maybe I'll eat like a couple bowls of cereal, like any random cereal. Sometimes I like to eat Cheerios, or sometimes I like to eat Chex or one of those kind of things. But sometimes I'm gonna like Lucky Charms. Sometimes I'm gonna grub on Lucky Charms, a lot of Lucky Charms and milk. I'll sometimes, let's say that I might grub on, say, 5 bowls of that Lucky Charms or some other sweetened cereal. I'll grub down on 5 bowls of milk and cereal. But then again, I don't feel hungry for most of the rest of the day. For an example, or if I don't eat in the morning, or if I didn't eat anything in the morning, like I'm gonna grub on a snack here and there, like throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, I'll eat like a big dinner, like a big dinner. Like sometimes Jenny Lynn might cook something and I'll have like pasta or sometimes I'll have a little chicken or something, like, but sometimes in my body, like sometimes I'm craving something, like a certain thing in my body, and then I have to cook it, It could be like pasta, it could be like the stroganoff, like where we cook the meat, like, or sometimes I feel like mac and cheese, or sometimes I feel like milk products, or I mean, like sometimes I get the craving for certain things, and then I'm gonna grub down on a lot of those things. But now enough about the things that I eat. It's all about how much I eat. But like sometimes, like my typical routine, and I'll probably have like a couple of servings of cereal, and then I don't eat anything throughout the day. Maybe I'll grub on a little snack here and there a little bit throughout the day, and then when I come home and I pick up Jenny Lynn or whatever, we might buy like a little fast food again. I know I'm gonna get bombarded by you guys talking shit with this fast food. I think it's enough of that already. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, but of course I'll eat some good things here and there. I mean, of course I want to eat good stuff here and there, but it's, to me, my opinion says it's not really necessary to be strictly eating good stuff. It's not, because like the supposedly called junk, it's gonna have some of the nutrients in it already. But anyways, so enough of that. So all in all, I don't eat much. I don't eat a lot. I could probably count the calories that I eat per day. I mean, I'm just gonna, maybe I'll grub on say 2 or 3 servings on cereal, for an example, and then I don't eat anything throughout the day. Maybe I'll snack down on a tortilla once in a while, or maybe I'll have a little cookie or here. But speaking of cookies, I love cookies, but I'm not gonna indulge myself in it. I mean, maybe I'll have probably say 5 cookies throughout the whole day. I mean, I'll grub down on these high fat cookies or whatever. It's the things that I really like. I'm gonna grab down on. But the thing is, the trick of it all is I don't eat that much. I mean, I may sound like I'm eating a lot of junk or whatever, but I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a lot. And then in a lot of times, when I feel like I ate too much for that moment, when I felt like I put too much into myself, I'm gonna feel like ugly. I'm gonna feel ugly, and then I probably won't be eating the rest of the day. I won't eat the rest of the day. So that's all of my calories for the day. Or sometimes I might have eaten a lot, and then I feel like I gotta do something to exercise it out, and I do, and apparently I do. Sometimes when I had just finished drinking a soda or something, yeah, I know, it's a shitty shit. I know. But anyway, I drink sodas, and so what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I drink sodas, but I drink a lot of water too. I mean, I love water. I mean, in fact, water is I probably drink water a little bit more than I do of sodas, because it's just refreshing. Water, drink a lot of. I love the cold water. Like the bottled water. I love it cold on the refrigerator. I probably drink maybe 3 or 4 of those a day, because I always have the craving for water. I mean, from great tasting water. I mean, so like I say, sometimes when I had just eaten a big meal, I feel like I want to get out. I want to get out and ride the bike, ride it off. Like, I just feel like I want to do that, and so I'm gonna end up spending an hour or more on the bike. I'm gonna go up these big hills. Sometimes I get the craving to want to work out all the stuff I had just eaten. But anyway, like the main theory, or the main thing that I have to say on how I keep my weight, on how I keep my shape anyway. The main way is eating less calories, and then the other main thing too is exercising more, or burning more calories than how much I eat. Like, I'm always like thinking in my mind, Like I always limit myself on how much I eat. Like if I feel like, let's say I'm grubbing down on the cereal, I stop myself. I'll stop myself there when I feel like it's starting to be too much. I stop myself, and then of course my body will kind of tell me too, because I'm feeling full, and then I feel ugly over a little when I eat too much, and then I start feeling full, and then I lose my appetite the rest of the day, you know. But anyway, so number one is not eating that much, eating less, and exercising more. And for me, and then the other thing too, I love to exercise. And that's a key word right there. I love to exercise. That's one of the key ways on how I keep my shape, because I love to exercise. I like to ride the bike, you know, doing things that I like to do. I mean, you don't want to do stuff that you don't like to do. I mean, like for example, for me, I don't like to run, man. I don't like to run on the treadmill. That's just not me. Some people love to do that with treadmills. I don't. I don't like to run. That's boring to me. I mean, well, that's just me though. I mean, I do that once in a while, but it's just not me to do that. I mean, running treadmills. But I like to ride bikes because it's a low impact exercise, and it's an adventure for me, because I could go far away. I could go to far away places on foot, you know, like without using the car and stuff. Sometimes when I ride the bike, I'm gonna go 20 miles. I'm not hesitant to ride 20 miles and then come back. You know, I'm not hesitant for that. I mean, but anyway, I gotta doing things that I like to do. I mean, that's key right there. Doing the like hard cardiovascular that you love to do, that you like to do. I mean, I don't know what kind of things that you like to do. What do you like to do when it comes to exercise? Well, do you like to walk around? Do you like to walk the neighborhood, or do you just like to walk the mall, or do you just like to walk, or do you like to swim or something, or do you like to play ball with your kids, or what do you like to do that's physical? I mean, for me, I love to ride my bike. I mean, I love riding bikes. It's just fun for me. I mean, and then I always like to give myself challenges, like going up these hills. I like to give myself a challenge and time myself or something, and see how quickly I could do this hill today. And I like to play challenges on myself, which makes it even more fun. I mean, and then of course, if you have friends, you know, like if you have friends that like to do the same thing, then great. I mean, you got to do what it takes to make you motivated, or do the things that you like to do. I mean, for me, I'm doing things that I like to do. And then for the gym, I like to go to the gym too. For me, like, what's my reason why I like to go to the gym? Because it just motivates me, because everybody else, we go to the gym, and then you see everybody else working out, and then it kind of motivates me to do that, because I want to join the game, you know. I want to join the team of people who work out and stuff. So yeah, I mean, and then of course, you gotta do what it takes to motivate you too. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, really important aspect of this too, motivation. You gotta find whatever motivates you. For some people, it could be really hard. It could be very hard to get motivated. Maybe your motivation, maybe like well, for your health or something. Well, I mean, try to bring like your motivation maybe is to get on the blood pressure machine, and check your blood pressure, and your motivation to work out is to bring down whatever it takes. But for me, what's miraculously on me, like what motivates me to work out is dressing good like this. I mean, dressing muscular, or well, that includes dressing in these the bike shorts, the spandex, you know, because I'm gonna go into the gym dressing in straight out spandex, you know, ballet. I'm telling you the truth right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's me. That's what I like. 99% of people don't even come in like the way I do. Well, maybe some they'll dress like in the tank top like that, but virtually nobody dresses in the shiny tank tops, Nobody dresses like that, but I mean, does that motivate me? Well, that's not necessarily what motivates me, but the thing is that what motivates me is just like how I like how I look in them. So, dressing in a way that I like how I look, because if I look in myself in the mirror, and if I feel I look good in the mirror, wearing the like the ballet dancer type spandex in there, as long as it's not too controversial or anything. But that's what actually motivates me to exercise, when I dress like that, like when I dress in the gym spandex. Like, people do dress in spandex there. I mean, well, mostly ladies, but I mean, but guys will dress like that too. I mean, dress in gym spandex. But for me, I'm gonna do the same thing, and that's what actually motivates. That's another key to how I keep my shape. Motivation. You gotta find something that motivates me. But for me though, like, one of the top ways that motivates me is how I dress up in there, because I'm not gonna be motivated if I'm just dressing in these baggy shirts and baggy shorts. That's gonna unmotivate me. I'm not gonna want to work out if I'm gonna look like a baggy short. It's not gonna motivate me. I'm not gonna gain any motivation, because what motivates me is like what is it about the spandex and the spandex tank tops that motivates me? Because like, naturally, you have to have a pretty decent body to wear those in order to not be embarrassed to wear those. And I feel like it's my goal to try to make myself look good, I suppose. I mean, that's my motivation. That's just the way I'm motivated. Well, like, if I can think of other things that motivate me, well, I mean, what's another thing that's a good motivator too, is looking at pictures of your old self. That's another thing that helps me to motivate me to get onto the exercising and stuff. It's looking at myself. It's looking at myself on my old pictures, like the days that I looked good in and stuff. That's another thing too, on how I get motivated and everything. And then of course the ballet dancer spandex type of shorts, the tight ones. I like to wear it tight. I mean, no one ever says anything, and nobody even cares. Nobody looks at me anyway, and I don't care. You gotta understand that you don't want to be caring what other people think, because nobody looks at me anyway, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I do. Nobody ever looks at me, and nobody has ever looked at me as funny. Nobody has ever looked at me for me dressing up in those shiny spandex tank tops, and then the shiny spandex and stuff. Nobody has ever looked at me weird, because people just don't care. I mean, and I don't care. Well, I have to have my motivation. I gotta get my motivation, because otherwise I won't work out. I'm not gonna work out if I don't motivate, and then I'm gonna get fat, or I'm gonna get out of shape. See, I mean, if it's what it takes to motivate me and to keep me in shape, I have to do it. I have to do it, man, because there's no ifs, ands, or buts. No ifs, ands, or buts. So yeah, and then, so, like, to sum it all, so far, the main thing is eating less and exercising more. Now, those are the main keys to how I keep my shape. And when I say eating less and exercising more, like, eating less, I'm not even mentioning what kind of foods to eat, although it does help. It does help. If you eat the good stuff, you eat strictly good stuff, and no fat this or no fat that, vegetables, fruits, and all that stuff. I mean, it could be very helpful, yes. I mean, but it's not necessary. Well, for me, I don't really eat fruits and vegetables. I mean, well, of course, I'll probably get the vegetables and fruits from some other source, like orange juice or whatever. I know some of you are talking crap right now. I know, but look at me. I feel perfectly fine. I'm 54 years old. I feel perfectly fine and everything. I feel perfectly good. I mean, of course, I have anxiety and stuff and all that stuff, but I mean, see, the thing is, anxiety and depression will affect your motivation. Apparently, I mean, it will affect your ability to do your exercises. So, however, so but right now and then, so those are the two basic keys right there, like eating less. Eating less calories than how much you burn out. You burn more calories than how much you eat. That's the key right there. But still, the other key, the other main key too, is that you have to keep your shape, or you have to lift weights. That's one of those things that you have to do. Because if you're just gonna be eating less and exercising more, you're just gonna make a skinny version of your big bellied self. Like you're gonna still have that big belly, but you're gonna lose muscle mass. You're gonna be the same you, but only you're gonna be the skinnier version of the same you. But you have to exercise. You have to do the weights. You have to do weights. But for myself, I work out, like I do mostly the upper torso. I do like the chest and my shoulders, and you gotta do the weights. Yeah, that's one of those things you have to do, and you have to be vigorous. You have to be vigorous about it too. I mean, you cannot just lift some weights and then just go home. You can't do that because it's not gonna work. If you're not feeling pain or if you're not feeling sore, then you didn't get a workout. You did not work out good enough. I mean, you have to work out in a way where you're gonna feel really sore. That has to be to that point. But now about this, I mean, you don't have to work out 5 days a week. Hell no. I mean, that's even actually bad for you if you're gonna work out too many days a week without letting your body rest. I mean, you need to give your body a chance to repair itself. I mean, that's another key right there. Like when you do the weights. Now you gotta do the weights. You gotta do weights until you feel pain, until you feel sore. And then you should expect to be sore when you go home. And when you are sore, that's where it's best that you just rest it out for the next couple of days and get plenty of sleep to rest it out so that your body can get a chance to fix itself. And the result will be a muscular build. You'll get it because the body is building the muscle because it's kind of adapting to those weights that you're doing. And then when you tore and with all the tearing of the muscle because your body is working so hard, then the body has to fix that. And you have to give the body a chance to fix it. And then that's where you're going to gain your muscle. I mean, because the more you do that, the more muscle you're going to gain, and then over time, then you're gonna start getting stronger and stronger every time that you do it and stuff. So that's the other thing that you have to do to keep my shape. That's what I do to keep my shape. That's the other thing I do, and that's basically it right there. I mean, so to sum it all up, eating less and exercising more, and you have to be very vigorous about it. Cardiovascular, you got to be very vigorous at the cardiovascular, and then you got to be vigorous at the weights, at the weight training, the resistance. You have to be vigorous because otherwise it's not going to work. I mean, if you're not vigorous and for the amount of time you need, well, for the cardiovascular, like the more time the better, I suppose. I mean, if you love riding the bike or if you love walking or running or whatever, if you love do it as much as you can. Do it as much as you want. I mean, it's not going to harm. If anything, it's going to benefit you more if you do a lot of cardiovascular to burn off the fat. I mean, if you eat less and then you run a lot, you'll burn off the fat. I mean, you'll burn off your belly fat. I mean, and then, that'd be beneficial if you do a lot of cardiovascular. I mean, it's because you could burn a lot of body fat with that. But as long as you don't eat more than you use, I mean, as long as you don't eat more food than you use, I mean, and then of course, resistance exercising, that's very important as well, because that way you can keep your shape, you keep your muscle while you're losing your body fat. Like you got to keep your muscle, keep your tone. Because if you just do cardiovascular and you don't do any resistance, then you're gonna look skinny. You're gonna look really skinny, and you're not gonna have any shape. You're not gonna have any form. Then you're just gonna look malnourished. So it just won't work like that. You gotta do, I would say, 2 days a week of super vigorous cardiovascular and resistance. 2 days, that's all you need. Maybe for the resistance, maybe 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day, a very, very hard workout where you're feeling it, like where you're feeling pain. Gotta do at least 2 days a week of resistance exercising is good enough. Good enough. At least that's what I've been doing. It's what I've been doing. I've been doing that. I mean, 2 days a week, very vigorous, and been able to keep my shape with that. I mean, but the cardiovascular, I just happen to love to ride my bike, so I ride my bike a lot, and I like to do the hills. I like riding up the hills, so my legs are very shapely from the result, you know. So yeah, I mean, see, I do know that my lower torso is in nice shape from the result. So I mean, I don't even need to do the lower torso at the gym because I do that on my bike. So I only focus on my upper torso, mostly like my chest and my shoulders, my back. I just do mostly that. I mean, yeah. So those are basically the keys. I mean, eating less, exercising more and vigorously, cardiovascular and resistance. You got to do the two. So those are the three basic things right there, like eating less and exercising more, like vigorously on the cardiovascular and vigorously on the resistance. And those are the basic keys. But of course, other things that's very helpful is supplements. You could take supplements. I've done supplements before, and I felt like they didn't really do anything to me. I mean, but I was still doing it. I take vitamins. I do take vitamins. I mean, at Centrum, 50 plus. I do take vitamins and stuff, and then of course I take my blood pressure medicine and stuff. But my vitamins, supplements, I mean, for some people, I guess it helps. And then of course, it'll help if you eat good foods like chicken. A lot of chicken for the muscles, or pasta. I hear pasta for the muscles, but cardiovascular. I mean, of course, it helps to eat good food. For me, I don't really eat good food, and I should try eating more good foods. But I've been able to do it without it. I mean, I've been able to do it without eating supposed to be called good food. But you got to remember that some of this junk food does have some vitamins. You have to understand that not all junk is pure junk. Like a hamburger from a McDonald's, it's gonna have a little bit of nutrients. You got your cheese, and then you got your meat, and then you got your buns. The hamburger bun, that's bread, and then everything, and then of course if you drink plenty of water, I mean, water is good. I mean, you could drink your juice and stuff. I mean, you just eat what your body craves, but sometimes your body's gonna crave a certain thing, but for me, I've been doing it. I mean, I've been doing it with the things that I've been eating. I mean, with my eating habits. I mean, although, like I say, it would help. I mean, it would help if you eat better. I mean, yes, it would definitely help. But I mean, I've been good. I mean, so that's how I've been keeping my shape. I'm just telling you a video about how how come I look good for my age. How come I look thin or. A lot of you, I know. Thank you guys for your comments about looking shapely and all that stuff. Well, I'm just letting you know how I do it. But one of the big ways too is because sometimes some bodies are naturally built that way. Because some bodies are more cooperative in helping. I'm sorry that for some of you who have a very difficult time keeping your weight off, because because for some bodies they're not cooperative. So apparently that's how it is for some, but of course it could help you. You could do those things, and you could combat it. So yeah, well, I hope you liked this video. Today is August 24th, 2024. All right, see you on the next video.